Hey guys, Stock Series episode 56. Trading212 have put the free share link back in the account, so I don't know if this means they're onboarding everyone yet. I think I've heard European investors are being onboarded, so if you want to get a free share, you may be able to sign up and use my code in the description and or in a pinned comment, and see if you can get a free share. So portfolio's down sort of about 1,000 overall this week. Most of the down has actually come from these gold and silver miners. So some of the these are down just over 2,500 in the last week. Some of the smaller ones, sort of Fortuna and Metalla, the little royalty company, sort of down quite heavily now. Nothing too bad. I mean, the sort of percentages look bad, but I think sort of hopefully a rising gold price towards the end of the year should bump these back up. But yeah, that's what sort of the most of the loss has come from. Polymetal's still there. Haven't got my transfer to IG just yet. So whenever that goes through, hopefully next week, splitting probably all of Polymetal between sort of 5 or 6 different gold miners mostly. Because I've got 6,000 odd in the Trading212 ISA, so don't need quite that much Polymetal. But yeah, so the Trading212 has been sort of holding up pretty well considering that all that gold and silver's down. This account has been sort of stemming the losses really, so it's up about £1,500. The ARC Pi is doing bugger all at the moment. Most of the gain has come from Argo blockchain, so it sort of potentially bottomed midweek, going down to sort of 86p. Now they've started coming out with more NASDAQ stuff, potentially listing on there. Not sure when it'll happen. Probably, they were saying third quarter sometime, but not sure if this is just sort of promises. Believe it when I see it. And we had the B word conference with Jack Dorsey and Elon Musk and Cathie Wood speaking, and that was sort of fairly bullish. So I think people got very excited about Argo. I do see that they're included in 1 or 2 sort of crypto mining ETFs now. So saw one sort of a new one issued, and Argo were, I think, nearly 4.5% of the ETF. So they're going to get some sort of second-hand investment, if you like, or passive investment without people actually looking at Argo specifically. They'll just automatically get that investment, so it's quite good. The Bitcoin ETP didn't really drop as much as Argo, or did drop midweek. Sort of 24 euros or so, but yeah, on the week it's just 1% up. Most of the other sort of gold miners sent them in £1. I think it went below £1 very, very briefly, but that's sort of broad across the gold miners. Digital Realty having a slight drop. First Majestic sort of still quite low around these lows. Long way back up to $18, but there we go. Silver price still looks potentially ready to move up towards the end of the year. What else have we got? So Polymetal, as I say, I'll probably leave that as my Polymetal stake and have different ones in the other IG ISA. Most of the REITs are sort of sitting fairly flat. And part of the rest of the gain came from Sylvania Platinum. So that was sort of in a bit of a low last week, or earlier this week rather. Yeah, so 14% up in the last week, 5% just yesterday. So that was pretty good. And the Tritaxes both sort of having a reasonable week, 2.5%, 3%. So pretty happy with them. So yeah, it's not too bad a week for the ISA. And the invest account, I think, is up about 1,000. Not too bad. Quite a few. Bit of a sort of mixed bag this week, really. Had a bit of a Chinese tech sell-off again. Chinese government sort of cracking down on some of these companies a fair bit. So all of those have sort of gone down. Baidu sort of was a bit worse, 3.7%. Looking a reasonable buy now, but don't really have any cash. Barrett Developments, nearly 5% up. This is some of the other house builders have done better than this, which I'll come to. But yeah, nice move for them. Cardinal Health had an okay week. Most of the others are sort of middling to down. eBay had a very good week. Not seen anything super sort of specific to do with them. I think they're still sort of buying back shares like crazy, so I expect that's part of it. FedEx fairly sort of flat. Glencore a couple of percent. Intel had quite a drop. They come out with their earnings, which was sort of better than expected, but they're forecasting a little bit of weakness sort of going forward. So yeah, still not really sure. They keep beating estimates, and the sort of price is dropping, and sort of forecasts are struggling to go up, but they keep sort of beating earnings and then saying the future is going to be bad, and then next quarter they beat earnings again and say the future is going to be bad. So a bit strange with them, but see where we go. International paper down a couple of percent. Emerging markets, obviously, with the Chinese tech sell-off, is down a little. Japan and clean energy and things up slightly and down slightly. The water ETF up as always. Just seems to be my little steady grower. Kia Group hasn't done a great deal. Kroger up slightly. Legal and General. Yeah, Lennar was one of the better house builders. Gone 7%, just over 7% in the last week. So glad to see that sort of coming back. Micron, not doing too much. Nintendo down a little. Very disappointed with their new console announcement, or the new screen, basically. That's all it is. Porsche up slightly. Process down 1%, which, considering the 10 cents down as well, I thought that was sort of holding up fairly well. Potentially the valuation gap sort of narrowing a little between them and the 10 cent holding, so that's quite good. Maybe a bit of bullish news on the rest of their portfolio, the sort of Indian and sort of fast food stuff and edutainment, as they call it, education online. So that's pretty good. Renault was pretty flat. Rio Tinto very flat. Not much else has happened here. Seneca Foods up a little, still looking good, 21% now. Siemens had a fairly good week, but not seen anything specific with them. Taylor Wimpey 7%, so about similar to Lennar really. Seems to be house builders across the board, which is good. And that's pretty much it. I think most of the rest are sort of 1% or so. Yeah, that's the invest account. So still sort of a little bit down overall on the stocks, which isn't too bad considering if crypto's now gonna sort of go on a nice bull run towards the end of the year. then I want to be selling out and sort of buying these stocks at a reasonable valuation. So if some of these are coming down, then I'm fairly happy. So leave your thoughts in comments below, and like and subscribe. See you soon.